David Goad, the 8-second rule. The 8-second rule, David Goad.
I was doing 65 on Highway 65 in my electric blue 1962 Volkswagen Beetle. Oh yeah, that car was a chick magnet. More powerful than a riding lawnmower. As most 17-year-olds go, I thought I was invincible. So when I started getting sleepy behind the wheel that night, I just shook it off like a man. But the second time my head dropped, better roll down the window, let in some of that farm-fresh Indiana air. Whew. Third time my head dropped, crank up the radio. On a warm summer's eve, on a train bound for nowhere, and up with a gambler, we were both. Apparently I was not too tired to sleep. My little car drifted off the highway down to a big wide ditch, and when it slammed into the other side, my hood popped up. All I could see were big tall weeds whipping the headlights on both sides of my car. And my brain told me, cover your head, brace for impact. But my hands would not let go of the wheel. I somehow kept that car in the middle of the ditch until my foot found the brake and I brought it to a halt. So that's bodily damage. Okay, nothing hurt but my pride. Crawled out of the car, worked my way all the way up that embankment. I was standing on the side of the road. And that's when the tears started to come. But at least I had a shoulder to cry on. I remember thinking, wow, I am alive! My dad's gonna kill me. I managed to hold on until two good Samaritans from nearby Noblesville rescued me. And they dropped me off at a truck stop where I could call my dad to come pick me up. I remember sitting there in this shiny chrome bar stool, clutching my little cup of hot chocolate, which I could not drink because my hands were still shaking too much. I looked over and I saw a couple seats down this old cowboy, who ironically looked a lot like Kenny Rogers. Not a bad hair day. He looked over at me and said, "Are you okay, son?" I told him the short version of the story, and he just kind of nodded, looked back down at his plain white coffee cup, and said, "Well, I say you done all right." Hello? I just jacked up my car, seriously, and my hands are shaking like a chihuahua, and my dad's gonna kill me. And you say, I done all right. You pour a little more sugar in his cup. Yup. You followed the 8-second rule. All right, I'll bite. What's the 8-second rule? Well, back in the day, I was a rodeo rider. And I used to sit behind a metal gate on 2,000 pounds of irritated bull named Tornado. Then the gate would fly open, and the world would spin out of control, and all that bull wanted to do was get me off of his back. But if I could ride for 8 seconds, I qualified. And then I'd jump off, and the clowns would come around and help me out of there. Eventually. That's it. Okay, Kenny Rogers now had my attention. So, how did you ride a wild bull for 8 seconds? Well, son, when the world's spinning out of control, you got two choices. You can give up and let go, or you can just hold on. And every second, remind you how strong you are. So your 8-second rule is just hold on. Gee, thanks, old-timer. My dad came to pick me up not long after that, and he chose to not kill me. Instead, he gave me one of those hugs. Said my life was way more important than a banged-up car. You know those kind of hugs. And the next morning, he brought me back to the scene of the crash to get my tar towed. And I looked in the morning light. I could see the tracks where my tires went through that tall grass. How I steered the car left and right, and somehow kept it from flipping over. Not unlike an 8-second bull ride. The old cowboy's words were true. Because with my hands firmly on that wheel, I could see in the light that I managed to miss a barbed wire fence, a concrete pipe, and a telephone pole. I could have written a much different ending story. Has your life ever run off the road like this? Or maybe there's someone in your life right now who feels like it's spinning out of control. But when it happens to me today, I stop and take a deep breath, put my hands back on the wheel, and I think of 8 things that I have absolute control over. Running a mile in 10 minutes, I can do that. Volunteer at the animal shelter, I can do that. Get up and give a speech at Toastmasters, I can do that. Pull every weed out of my garden, I can do that. And as you do your 8 things, each one reminds you how strong you are. I learned that night in the ditch that I could hold on, steer myself through trouble until help arrived. And I believe you can do it too. In fact, you are far more capable than you think you are. Just gotta know when to hold on. Because life and the people you love are worth holding on for. So,